Namaste, beautiful soul. Welcome to the Blooming Lotus Healing Channel. My name is Jikara, and I'm a spiritual healing facilitator. And today I'm going to talk to you about a topic that is very important to me personally. It's something that has helped me and really shifted um, basically my entire spiritual path. And or even ignited my spiritual path. And so if you want to learn about Vipassana and what is a Vipassana retreat, what is a Vipassana meditation, what exactly this happens in a Vipassana meditation center or retreat center, then you definitely want to make sure that you continue watching this video. But before we get started, I just kind of want to take a moment just to drop into gratitude, to thank all of my supporters. Thank you for those of you who are watching constantly my videos, who are sharing constantly my videos, who are liking my videos, who are supporting this channel by being part of the Cosmic Light Activation Group. I'm going to put you here in the list here, and I want to say thank you because you are really the backbone of this channel, and I'm so grateful for you for that. And so I just want to celebrate you and thank you for that. And I want to invite you to consider joining the Cosmic Light Activation membership if you are interested in receiving, oracle guidance every week, as well as receiving every month an Akashic record clearing. We do Akashic record clearings for the collective, for the group every month. We have our own portal where all of our clearings are housed. As soon as you sign up, you will have access to all of the clearings that we've done in the past, so you can access that, and you will be able to also access all of the readings that I've done so far for the group. So you'll have access to all of that. We also have a Telegram group where we are building the community. So please feel free to join. It is a really beautiful and vibrant and loving community, and I would love to have you here to support. And it's a really, really great way not only to support yourself and your energetic hygiene. So it's just an overall really great way to just keep your energy centered and aligned. And so, with that said, I just kind of wanted to take a moment just to invite you over to my website, thebloominglotushealing.com. And you're going to do / cosmic light activation, and you will be able to access there. It's only $39 a month, and you get basically an Akashic record clearing and some additional things. And you also get access to special perks such as exclusive discounts that are available there at the portal, where you'll be able to grab a special code to share. So here's my cat here celebrating y'all here as well. So I also wanted to mention too, I wanted to announce that I am seeking support at on my new Instagram account that I created for the Oracle deck that I am working on. I am basically, cat is out of the bag. I basically just decided just to share. If you are part of my subscribers, my email subscribers, you already know that I've already announced to you the creation of the Oracle deck. The cards are actually created already. Right now, I'm in the process of creating the booklet that will go with it. And so with that said, I'm actually working with the cards. I'm going to start working with the cards directly, and I'll start doing my readings with the cards as well, because that's how the spirit of the mushroom, of the psilocybin mushroom, wants to really be received and express whatever wants to come through in the booklet. So this is really going to be a great deck for you if you are interested about the psilocybin mushrooms, but you're not really interested in taking them, and you want to really connect to the medicine and the spirit of the mushroom. This is a really great deck for you. Or even if you have taken the mushroom before, or any other sort of plant medicine, and you want to use this deck to help you kind of ground the energy, help you integrate, because it takes a little bit of time for us to kind of go back into our space and integrate into ourselves. And so these cards are going to be really a tool for you. And so when I invite you to go over to my Instagram, my new Instagram account, the Psilocybin Oracle, so that you can keep keep up with it. And I will also be creating a website where you can sign up for an email list specifically for this Oracle deck. So I look forward to seeing you there and connecting with you there on that Instagram account. So enough about that. I just kind of wanted just to kind of drop into the conversation about Vipassana, right? And so, based on, meditation can come in many ways, right? We know that there's transcendental meditation. We know that there's walking meditation. We know that there's, visual meditation, and so many other types of meditation. One of the really I want to say the one that I got introduced to that really changed and shifted so much for me was a Vipassana. And when you first get introduced to Vipassana, the best way to get introduced to it is through a meditation retreat, where in this retreat you actually go into a retreat center which is run by volunteers. And in this retreat center doesn't allow you to have a phone. You're not allowed to write anything down or to read a book or to listen to music. You are meant to be in full silence. You're immersing yourself in full on silence, and you meditate 10 hours a day. It sounds very intense and almost kind of military style, right? But there is a method to the madness, right? There's a method to it, and I'm going to tell you, at least for the first experience that I had back in 2019, I'll tell you exactly what happened for me personally. So back in 2019, me and my husband, now husband, then we were dating. Haresh and I, we decided to sign up for the meditation retreat in Jessup, Georgia, because Florida doesn't have an actual official Vipassana meditation retreat center. So the one in Georgia services the ones, people in Georgia and people in Florida. And so we had to sign up. I want to say for that time, I believe we did the sign up time around October of 20. So it was 2018, October 2018, and then we went into the retreat for 10 days of silence in January 2019. So it was about 3 months, right? That we had to sign up. So that's one thing that you want to consider when you're considering signing up. You might want to consider that you might have to wait a little bit. It may not be as immediate as just going in, the next day, just signing up and going in the next day. You have to apply. And I will be leaving the link to the meditation retreat centers. There's a global website where you can search around the globe for this specific organization, which is the original organization that brought Vipassana to the world. So going back to, we signed up in October. We were able to go in January. We got there, and you are told to get there by a certain day, by a certain time. So you are meant to be there by a certain time. I believe it was like by 5 p.m. You had to be there so that you can sign in. You go in, and then you have to sign in. They check that you are actually indeed someone who signed in ahead of time. You also gotta, there's something called the old students and the new students. You're kind of separated into the new students and the old students. The new students are going to be those people who have never done the Vipassana meditation before, and the old students are going to be those who have taken it before at least once. Those will be considered the old students. And so typically they ask you, right, when you come in, it's like, are you an old student or are you a new student? And I'm not sure if there's any other ship, because when I went in there, I was a new student. I don't know if there's anything different except for a couple of things that I noticed that the old students had to follow. But other than that, I didn't see any other difference in relationship to the old students and the new students. I mean, they all had to do the same thing and follow the same thing in general, except for a couple of things, which I will mention later here in the video. And so then you get there, you sign in, and then you're told where your dormitory is, and then you go ahead and put all your things in there and get ready. And typically, the day that you arrive, you're not going to be in meditation. You're kind of like, settling yourself and, bringing all your stuff and making your bed, because you have to bring all your bedding, by the way. Yes, you have to bring all your bedding. You have to bring basically all your needs. You have to bring your towels, everything that you need to be there for 10 days, you have to bring. So that's something you want to consider whenever you're getting ready to sign up for a retreat, a Vipassana retreat. You want to make sure that you bring everything, right? And they give you the list of things to bring, so you don't have to worry about necessarily forgetting anything. They're pretty good about letting you know what you need to bring. And so the next thing that happens is they typically offer you dinner. At least the first time that I went, the first and last time that I went, they offer you dinner, and then after that, then you go into like a small orientation, and that orientation is basically just kind of going over the rules of what we're going to be doing. And you also give in your phone and your key. I don't believe your keys, but your phone you do give. So they store it away. You're not allowed to have a phone or any electronics, any sort of book or anything, because you're meant to be immersed in silence, right? And in meditation. And so you're given like a little ticket where you have your number, and so that way they know which, they put it, they kind of number your phone so that it's safe, and they put it in a lockbox for you. And after that, then you go into and once they're done with the orientation, then basically starting that night, you go into silence. And you're not allowed to look at anyone in the eye. You're not allowed to communicate in any signal, any shape or form. You're not allowed to communicate, of course, by you're not allowed to talk. And then you're basically in pure silence. And it is hard, when you first start, because especially if you're someone that likes to talk or maybe likes to communicate with people, then this is kind of hard to do, right? Like you're like, okay, there's like a little bit of anxiety that starts to come up, right? Because there's like that feeling of like something is missing, and you're having to develop that discipline within yourself. But that in itself is such a valuable tool, right? Like that discipline of knowing that, okay, my mind is starting to go a little bit intense on me right now because I can't talk. But at the same time, there is medicine, right, in this journey. And so with that said, after that, then you are woken up at 4, I believe it was 4:30 in the morning. The first, and every morning you're going to be woken up at 4:30 in the morning. I'm sorry, at 4 in the morning. You have to be in meditation hall by 4:30 in the morning. And once you are in a meditation hall, basically um, you will be basically meditating for 2 hours, right? You will be meditating for 2 hours. And once you are meditating for 2 hours, then you are until 6 a.m., right? And after that, then you will go into the hall where you get your breakfast. And then you eat your breakfast, and then you can get ready. If you didn't get the chance to take a shower, let's say in the morning early, then you get a little bit of a break between the time that you eat breakfast and the meditation hall. I believe the meditation hall, you had to be at by 8 a.m., if I'm not mistaken. So it's been a while, since 2019. So I'm trying to remember, but I think it was about 8 a.m. that you would have to be by meditation. You had to be on time, right? And so one of the things that I would recommend, sometimes they do offer, but I don't, because it's a voluntary ran, um, they may not have uh, things available for everyone. So one thing that I would recommend is for you to take an alarm clock that is battery powered, so that you have that, and you can wake up on time and be able to know what's happening and be able to see to know what time it is. Even having a watch, just so that way you know what time it is and all that good stuff. It's just a good idea just to take that and make sure that it's battery powered. And starting there, then you just basically it's just meditation for 10 hours a day with basically breaks in between. Some are 15-minute breaks. Sometimes they're hour or an hour and a half breaks. And then of course you have the food breaks, and it's fully vegetarian food that is cooked by volunteers. Like I mentioned, is run by volunteers, and so you're basically having this experience of a monk, right? Like that's really what you are experiencing, what a monk would experience in a I guess in the beginning stages of their journey, right? And so in this journey of meditation, now kind of like the logistics, and I'll cover the logistics the rest of the way. You do take turns. You kind of write down your name and take turns to clean out the bathroom, because you do share the space with other people. There's dorms, and this was back in 2019, so I don't know if they shifted anything for this year. Which later down this video you will find out more about, because I have an announcement to make about this. But anyway, the next thing I wanted to mention is, there's a little bit of logistics there that happen, a little bit of like that community taking care of the dormitory type of thing. So you have something to do, right? You can wash your clothes. You have like little moments where you can, take care of certain things for yourself, and so you have little breaks here and there. Now, I kind of wanted to mention that, that's just the logistics of it, right? For Remember when I was mentioning there's a difference between new students and old students. So one thing that I noticed between the new students and the old students is that, so when we're given as new students, you're given 3 meals a day. You get a full-on breakfast, full-on lunch, and then for dinner, if you're an old student, you get fruits for dinner, and tea and water. For old students, though, it's a little different. For old students, they get breakfast, they get breakfast, they get lunch, but then you don't get fruits. You only get to drink tea or water for dinner. So that's the difference there. Another thing that I noticed is that the new students would get different, like they would be called forward to the meditation teacher, and the meditation teacher that are, there's typically, at least from what I saw, men or women are separated, by the way, and so you have a teacher for each side. So you have the teacher for the women and the teacher for the men, and so the teacher would would call forth someone to either they will call them forth to either ask them questions or give them any sort of feedback, because of course they're watching you, and maybe they're noticing that that you're uncomfortable or sitting a certain way, and so they'll give you some feedback or some things to help you maybe overcome anything that they're noticing that you're uncomfortable with, because they can see your physical expression, your facial expression. So I noticed that the old students typically would get different, I guess, different things to do, or different things to focus on with the meditations versus the new students. So I thought that was very interesting. But with that said, I think that was really the only difference. Like, I will find out later what the difference is. I'll be able to talk about that. But I'm speaking from a new student perspective, and going through the entire journey, the entire 10-day journey as a new student, right? But with that said, you go through this journey, and the first 3 days are probably the hardest, because you are, again, your mind is so used to a specific way of being, right? Like you, especially nowadays, we have the phone, we're so used to receiving so much information. We're so used to, being on the internet and being on social media, that there's almost this craving, right, that you go through to try to overcome, like this almost like this detox part will come through. And it's almost like you're battling your mind in a way. Like that's how it felt like for me personally, that I felt like I was battling my mind a little bit, until I finally was able to get to the point by the end of the third day, to just surrender and allow things to just evolve from where I was. So there's like this initial struggle that I feel can be very difficult for a lot of people if they're not able to really recognize that they're there for a purpose, or maybe they're there to escape something. You really are there to do work. Like you're doing some really intense internal work within yourself. And so it's important to remember that, when you consider going to these silent retreats, that the process of that struggle is part of the medicine. And so you want to stay the course, right? Especially if you're not struggling with mental health, or if you're struggling with mental health, then you might want to consider talking to your therapist or your psychiatrist, or your those who are caring for you, to make sure that that's actually something that you should do, and then it won't be more damaging to you, right? But if you're someone who is generally healthy, in your mental state, then just know that that's just part of the process of your journey. And so you want to allow this process to unfold, and don't give up, because what happens after is absolutely magical. And so it's almost like this 3 days of struggle create this like opening for you to really dive deep into yourself and recognize who you are fully, and almost take time to go deep into layers that you haven't gotten the chance to go into, just by doing this meditation. And so when you first start the meditation, you are first taught on anapana. So anapana is the action of sitting down in a comfortable position with your spine straight and just focusing on your breath. Basically, that's all you do, and you do that for 3 days, just focusing on your breath. So basically, what you're being taught is to really use your breath as your anchor, right? Is really to use your breath as a way of going back to your center, to train your mind that your breath is your lifeline, right? In any shape, in any time or any shape or form, something comes up, or the mind kind of goes a little bit intense, that your breath is your lifeline, right? And so that is the purpose of doing anapana only for the first couple of days. So I think it was like 2 or 3 days, the first 2 3 days. Then I believe at the end of the third day, or yeah, you are actually introduced to the Vipassana type of meditation. Vipassana is all about focusing on the sensations of your body. So it's all about being very grounded in yourself and just noticing your body as just where it is, right? And so there's this constant scanning that you do throughout your meditation, right? From the top of your head all the way to the bottom of your feet. And you continuously do this scanning, right? And then whenever you get the struggle, you kind of go back into anapana, right, to kind of go back into that center, and then go back into scanning your body. That's really what Vipassana meditation is. But there is a very how do I say this? There's a very specific way to do it, right? Like you're starting from the top of the head, going all the way, and really going into each one of your areas of your body. Like you really are getting all the details. Like you're trying to feel even every strand of your hair, right? Like you're trying to feel every single part of you in a very detailed way. So much so that you start on the outside, and then suddenly you start noticing your inside as well. You start noticing, even your internal organs and the way that they move, because you're in such a state that you're able to really feel your body in a way that you probably won't be able to when you're out and about in the world, because we're busy, scrolling through social media, having, conversations with people, maybe having arguments with people, maybe having, issues with our boss, or with a client, or, trying to get, more clients, or trying to run a business. And like, you have all these things happening, and it's like, whoa, right? There's really no time for you to really cultivate this from a place of discipline, right? Like, there's no time, right, in our daily routines where we can really drop deep into these spaces. So this is why it's so needed, that the time is so needed. Like, there is a time that almost like you go into detoxing, right? You're detoxing your mind, and then you go through the process of holding space for those parts of you that have been unheard for a while, that haven't been that you haven't connected to for a while, right? And so you get to do this for a while, and then suddenly, once all of the stuff that needed to be felt and needed to be released is done, with the help of Vipassana meditation, then you kind of go into this other, let's say, magical space. So again, first is just overcoming the mind and overcoming the weird feeling of just focusing on your breath, and then overcoming the sensations in the body that are coming up, and the emotional upheaval that may happen, and the memories that may just get triggered, and that you have to kind of hold space for and allow to just flow through you, and allow yourself to just become the vessel. And then there's that third stage, which is just feeling your energetic body, like feeling who you truly are, and going beyond the body, and actually starting to recognize how you are more than just your body, that you are such a beautiful energetic expression that goes beyond this body, and that you're not bound by the body. And I don't know if this is really possible to really explain, or to help you comprehend, unless you yourself go through the process yourself, like through this process, right? Like, this is something that has to be experienced, because words are not enough to explain what it is, right? And like, it just goes beyond words. And my experience, and then everyone's experience is different. And that's one thing that I kind of wanted to also mention is, if you're watching this because you're kind of curious about Vipassana, I kind of want to invite you to recognize that your experience might be completely different than mine, right? And also recognize that maybe if you go more than once, maybe your experience might be different from one to another, and preparing yourself mentally for that as well, right? There is an element of uncomfort in the body as well that you get to overcome, because you're sitting down for 10 hours a day. Yes, we do get breaks, but imagine being sitting down for that long. And there's moments in Vipassana where you are encouraged to not move for an hour, to just basically be there without moving for an hour, right? And to just be there. And in that process is when you transcend your body, is when you transcend, and you go into that beautiful space. And so this discipline is so rewarding, because it brings you into that awareness of who you truly are, and reconnects you back to your heart. It reconnects you back to the compassion that you can access, that's always available within you. And sometimes I feel like when we talk about these things, this idea of a compassionate heart sometimes can feel like a very foreign concept for a lot of us, if we haven't been able to experience that within, if we've had a lot of upheaval or a lot of trauma, which is something that I experienced in my life. It can feel very foreign to us, right? To say compassion, like, what is that? And Vipassana was the first time in my life where I was able to recognize that I was not my body. I was able to recognize, to know, not to just know in the mind, but to know full knowing in a way that goes beyond the mind, in a way that is just knowing. It's a truth that you cannot unsee anymore. Knowing that I am a being that is inside this body and that I transcend this body. Like there's so much more to me, so much more multi dimensionality, right? Multi dimensions, multi dimensions, or I can't think of the word right now, but multi dimensionality, if that's even a word, that I am. Like I have so much more, so many, I am so many more facets than what my ego wants to lie to me, lie and make me believe, right? And so um it was incredible, right? Like that journey was incredible, and transcending the body, transcending the pain, transcending all of this. And then, getting to a point where I'm like quite literally feeling the energy inside my body, moving in and out, really feeling like I was of the stars. That's the best way that I can describe it. I felt like I was of the stars, and it was incredible. And I know that other people like transcend in such a way that they go out into a different space, and sometimes they astral project and they have all these experiences. I didn't personally have that experience, but my experience was strong enough to really change my life. I was a person before and after joining Vipassana. And I kind of wanted to mention that another thing that happens is that because you are in silence for that long, you are also invited to break your silence a day before and talk and be able to be with your fellow meditation students. um, you're invited to talk to them, and that was the first time I ever experienced the reality of vibration and how we carry our vibration with our voice, and how within ourselves we carry a vibration, and that vibration is easily recognized by others without necessarily like logically understanding it, but just feeling it and understanding it from a place of just recognition, right? Like recognition of, it's almost like vibration recognition. And it was incredible because I was able to see the truth of vibration and how our voice carries forward vibration. And so, with that said, if you are considering taking Vipassana retreat, I want to invite you to really take the time to, first of all, prepare yourself mentally, physically, emotionally for it. Make sure that you're taken care of. Make sure that you're able to sit for long hours, on the floor. I recommend that you get a meditation chair, a comfortable one. And I also recommend that you take enough clothes so that way you don't have to worry about. I personally don't want to have to like wash clothes in between, so I would recommend just to take clothes, enough for those 10 days, and then when you get out, you can always just find a laundromat and do your laundry after, right? So I would just say that just so that you can really be in your joy. But maybe you just want to get yourself busy. So if you want to do that, then definitely consider that. But I am getting ready to do another retreat in October, and I'm so excited to do that. And I can't wait to share more. I'm going to be doing a video as I go up, and of course, I can't do a video while I'm in it because I'm not allowed to have that, and I want to make sure that I am focused on my healing and on myself. But I will definitely be doing a video on my way back, and of course, my experience, and share my experience afterwards, so that you can get some updates on what it is to be an old student and going back to Vipassana retreat for a second time. So I'm super excited to do this. This was something that it was overdue. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I'm so grateful that I get to do this. I feel so lucky and so joyful. I'm also a little bit more prepared this time. Last time I did not have a meditation chair. I was really uncomfortable with the pillows that they offered, and now I get to take my own things and kind of prepare myself so that I can give my body the support that it needs, so that I can really dive deep into the meditation and just travel in the wonders of the universe that's within me. And so, with that said, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Wish me luck. Give me your prayers. And I want to thank you so much for being part of this community. I want to invite you to subscribe, to share, to like this video. I will be sharing more about this journey. I just kind of wanted to just really share this with you and bring you on this journey with me in the best possible way that I can. And I also wanted to mention that I will be doing another video soon about the Oracle deck and the process of the Oracle deck creation. um Even though the cards are already done, there is an element of creation that I feel is going to be part of this Vipassana retreat. I feel like that going to this retreat is going to help me clarify more of the deck, and or even create more depth to it. And so there is an element of that, of the Oracle deck, that is part of Vipassana. And then, of course, for me, it's also not only it's because of the Oracle deck that I want to go there, but also because it's something that I feel it's important for me personally to continue to do every year, for me to continue to find spaces and do retreats so that I can clarify myself even more and be able to show up in the world in the best that I am meant, in the best way that I'm meant to, and to be able to show up for you in the best way that I'm meant to. So this retreat is also dedicated to all of you here on the YouTube channel. So I hope that you can appreciate the effort that goes behind the scenes. A lot of times I don't really talk about this, but there's a lot of effort that goes behind the scenes that I don't really talk about. There's discipline that I have to continuously cultivate for myself so that I can show up here, as well as showing up for my clients. And there's so much labor of love that goes into it. And I continue to refine and define and redefine and clarify myself as I continue this journey. And I feel it's important for me to do so, because that's the only way that I can really help people on a deeper level, is if I help myself on a deeper level. So it's not an easy path to be a spiritual healing facilitator. It really isn't, because there is so much that you have to do to dive deep into yourself, and continue to do so, and not let yourself get caught up in your ego and say that, oh, I'm done. And to always stay honest with yourself, and enough to where you can say, this is my limit, or this is all I can do, and I don't have all the answers. And this I mentioned in lieu of the most recent live stream that I did on Thursday, this past Thursday, which was about discernment, and we were talking about Nikki was sharing her experience with a practitioner. And, that really got me thinking about, what can I do to make sure that I am in integrity at all times, and make sure that I am always doing my best, right? And I'm always thinking about that, because I think it's healthy. I think it's a healthy thing for us to do so. There's obviously nothing wrong with believing in ourselves and knowing our truth and sharing our truth with extreme knowing. But I also feel like it's healthy to question ourselves and question our motives, and make sure that we're um, clarifying those motives as much as we can. So anyway, I thank you for listening to me. I know this is a long video. I love you all so much. I'm so grateful for you. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you like and share this video. And I will see you on the next video.